Okay, let's start. Welcome to the first episode of Tap the Gas. Um, Technically, that's not true. I guess technically this would be the second episode. And why is that? Well, in this second episode, we're going to be talking about that main reason. We're going to be talking about fear. This series, channel, whatever you want to call it, is going to be about music, of course. I love music. I love all things music. And I love learning about music. I love learning about all the gear that is coming out, is out, has been. I love playing music. I've got a band. We're called As Daylight Dies, and we are a Killswitch Engage tribute. And I also love X-Toll, so that's why I'm wearing this shirt today. Music is just in my DNA. You know, it's part of who I am. And because of that love, and because of that being part of me, I want to share that with others. And I want to share that via this channel. And that's why this series was created. Like I mentioned, it was created already. So we're going to get into that. Why did I start something and then stop? Especially something that I love. Fear. So let's back up a little bit. Earlier this year, a friend of mine, Marquise, and we started a podcast called Echospective. And you can find that podcast on any podcast outlet you choose. It's the Echospective podcast, and it is a podcast that is built around music, but it's really about gaining perspective about other people and about other things through the shared experiences and shared love of music and the arts. And that's what we do. And it's been incredible. You know, the world didn't need another podcast. And I think that's kind of what held us back from doing a podcast for so long. Marquise and I had talked about doing something like that for a long time, and we would always stop ourselves because we go, well, we would just talk ourselves out of it. But you know, we said, hey, let's do this. We're not going to let fear keep us from doing something that we think we enjoy. We're not going to let the fact that we aren't pioneers in that sector keep us from doing it. But I think along with that, knowing that we're just going to kind of be this podcast out in the sea of other podcasts, it's also putting yourself out there. You know, you're being vulnerable. You're creating something that you hope other people would like. And because of that, you're leaving yourself open to critique. And hopefully, you know, people like it. Talk about being vulnerable. My first attempt at Tap the Gas, it was a similar situation. I think this was back 2018, 2019, maybe. And I kind of wanted to do the gear review thing. So I got an MXR Smart Gate pedal. I recorded the video. I reviewed it, told about all that it could do, and put it up. Right after I put that video up, I almost had an instant sense of regret. Kind of like, oh man, this didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. This isn't good. Who's going to want to watch this? I kind of felt disappointed in myself, and I had told other people that I was going to do this, and I wasn't pleased with what I had turned out. So almost as soon as I uploaded the video, I took it down. I was embarrassed. I don't know, fearful. And I deleted it. So that video does not exist anywhere. It's gone forever. So fast forward to now, some 5 years later, wanting to give it a go again, being inspired by the experiences that Marquise and I had doing the podcast, and realizing, if you love doing something and if you want to share that with others, it's worth the risk. Um, so this series, this channel, these videos are going to kind of be an offshoot of Echospective. It's kind of part of a broader, bigger idea that Marquise and I have. And because of that experience that we had starting the podcast and not knowing the future of it, and being okay with that, I'm kind of bringing that over to this. I think it's still going to be pretty scary. But I've had a lot of firsts this year regarding musical endeavors, podcast, starting the band with a great bunch of guys and putting ourselves out there that way. So why not go for the trifecta? Who knows what this is going to look like? But I think it's going to be fun, and hopefully others will enjoy it. And much like the podcast world, YouTube doesn't really need another music reviewer, a gear reviewer. But I hope in some way it's going to be different. And I'm not saying like I'm going to do it different and better than other people, because I won't, and that's okay. But I want this to be an extension of me and the things that I enjoy, and maybe the things that other people enjoy. Who knows? This is going to be kind of a chronicling of that journey. So I welcome you to come along with me. I will say that another thing that kind of kicked me in the butt to maybe do something like this is I guess I'm a shade tree luthier. I like working on guitars. I like fiddling with them, no pun intended. I like kind of figuring out how they work. Then I kind of started getting into the world of kit building, because I have no means to do anything like that from scratch. So I came across Pango guitars. I bought a couple kits last year to kind of stoke the fires of hobby building, and it was a lot of fun. Learned a lot of stuff. I'm still learning a lot of stuff. Started responding to some Pango Facebook posts about my experiences. And then one day, one of the representatives reached out and was like, hey, essentially, you want to partner? Would you be interested in talking about some of the kits that you've made? And would you be interested in doing reviews on future kits? Sounds pretty fun. So yeah, let's do that. So that's going to be some of the subsequent videos after this one. We're going to be reviewing a Pango guitar kit, and it's pretty slick. And then we'll see what happens from there. I have some pretty interesting plans for it if I actually put it together right and it is usable. So we'll see. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you want to keep up with what this turns into, subscribe so you don't miss anything. And huge thanks and shout out to Pango for giving me an opportunity to get started, because I can honestly tell you, if that didn't come across my inbox, I wouldn't be doing this. So, thanks, Pango. Thank you, the viewer. And thanks for sitting here and listening to me. See you next time. Hey everybody, it's me. So you just got done watching the first official Tap the Gas video. And when I wrapped filming, I was like, oh man, I didn't even explain like what that title means or anything. So just gonna tell you real quick. For those that don't know, GAS is short for Gear Acquisition Syndrome. And so it's kind of a play on that. You know, remember when you first started to learn to drive and your parents were like, just tap the gas, okay? You don't need to floor it, just tap it. Just tap it. And then you would not tap it and end up going through a fence or something. I mean, I don't know. I didn't do that. But so it's all about kind of tempering your gear acquisition syndrome, trying to anyway. And I'm kind of a frugal guy, we'll say. So I'm always looking for deals and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of stuff we're going to talk about in this series on this channel, whatever it ends up being, is kind of how to get gear, where to find it at good prices, and kind of how to maximize your budget, best bang for the buck. Just tap the gas just a little bit. You don't have to go all in.